this week in the SFFL from Lino Lakes, Minnesota. I'm the commission, as always. I'm joined from Brownwood, Texas, by my co-host with his 3 luxury sleds in the driveway, Mr. Mike Paddock.
So sit back, grab a cold one. It's your home of all things SFFL and fantasy football. It's TWITS, and it starts right now.
Tonight's episode of TWITS is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
All right, Mike, here we are. The Week 7 edition of TWITS is underway. Mike, you and I back from a long weekend away down in the southern part of Texas. You and I had the pleasure of watching the Green Bay Packers dismantle the previously probably number 1 or 2 power-ranked team in the NFL, the Houston Oilers, in what was a sweat box situation, Mike.
Yes, we were there live, sweating, and took me about 10 hours of sleep last night to half recover from that weekend.
Yeah, and I for some reason couldn't get to sleep. I kind of dozed on and off, and then I fell asleep finally around 2 last night, so I'm hoping tonight I can get a little more Z's, because yeah, I'm whooped. Mike, we also had a chance to take in a little college action. We saw the Houston Cougars, who we'll get to later in this broadcast.
In the final season at, what is that, Robertson?
Final season at Robertson Stadium, so I can mark one more stadium off the checklist. So 120 to go.
Nice.
On the college side, so. So the plus system was down, so it'll be back up and running again this weekend for everyone who missed it.
I know I did.
So, other than that, Mike, we got just one quick news and notes. Once again, still looking for anyone who has an idea on a good feature that the site is currently lacking. I know premium content have been giving out some free passwords for that, and hopefully people are getting there and using that, or either watching TWITS and going in and using it. So, still looking for a good idea. If anyone has one, I'll give you free content the rest of the year if we end up putting that in. So,
well, like the old saying in like 1950, someone said that everything that was going to be invented was already invented. So, I don't know if there's any way to improve that site.
It's thanks to our friends at QuickStats, we've definitely bumped it up a notch. But there's, every once in a while, and I tend to write these down, but I'll think of something and be like, oh, it'd be great. Like the free agent finder was something that just popped into my head. I'm just like, it'd be really cool. Like I said, if I have my quarterback out in week 9, who's going to be available? Who should I go grab? And it'll show you the defense that they're playing and their rank against the pass. And so it's little things like that I think can help you out throughout the year. So anyone with a good noodle on that one, throw it my way, and we'll see if we can't get her implemented and get you free premium content for the rest of 2012.
Nice.
Mike, let's take a look at the weekly rewind for Week 6. First of all, we had high scoring fair. Bill took on Mickey, and in a 76-61 tilt, Mickey wins, led by James Jones and his 13 points. Then we had Evan taking on Thad in a very similar score, Mike, 76-63. Evan rides Jordy Nelson, who we saw those touchdowns, I think, down in our end zone at Reliance Stadium. 3 touchdowns for Jordy, and that propels Evan to the 13-point victory. We had Greg and Tim in a nip-tuck affair, copyright FX, 61-59. Greg paced by Aaron Rodgers, who ripped off a few touchdown passes, 6 of them, as I faintly recall. Mike, you and I locked up in a Donnybrook slugfest, the good old Big Ten slobber knocker, 42-41. Battle of the kickers there, Goskowski versus Hansen, to give me a 1-point win. And then last but certainly not least, Wayne, 74, Tom, 52. Wayne picks the right week to start Sean Green. 26 points out of the Iowa product to give him a 22-point victory.
Yeah, that was a good call by Wayne. I was wondering if he started him this week.
Yeah, it was. I was clutch because I don't think up until this point he had done too much, but he dismantled. I can't remember who they playing, Jets and Colts. Yeah, he dismantled the Colts. So, all right, Mike, that's the weekly rewind. What's coming up in week 7 on tap?
Sondo, week 7 on tap. Your spotlight game includes me once again until I can get knocked off that mantle. Greg and his Beer is My Life at 3-3 and 391 points versus me and my tax returns at 4-2, 300 points. Greg leads at all-time points 988 to 807, and the all-time series 17-5, winning the last 3 to get to that point. So I need to knock him off that high horse. Then we have Brooklyn Bill coming in at 3-3 with 366 points versus Thad Media Star. Yay. Also at 3-3 with 335 points. No date on that series as of yet. That's a pick'em.
Yeah.
Then we have Wayne's Bago at 3-3 and 316 versus Tim's Cranky Pants at 3-3 and 355. The all-time points lean to Wayne's favor, 1391 to 1334, and the series at 21-18 with 2 of the last 3 going to Wayne in that one. And then the commish, the old Sondo Nam style, at 4-2 with 356 points versus Mickey Crazy Mom at 2-4 with 350 points. Will Jeff sleep on the couch this weekend? We will find out. Mickey does lead the all-time points 1250 to 1198 because Jeff keeps tanking every time he plays her. And the all-time series 19-14, winning 8 of the last 11.
Yeah, believe me, I'm not tanking anything. I would kill to win the next 5 in a row against Crazy Mom there. I think she's the only one in the league that I have. I mean, she has a 5-game lead on me. I think I'm kind of close to everyone else, maybe a game or two. But believe me, I've had this date circled for a while on the old calendar, Mike. So
nice. So much like your anniversary on July 11th? 7th?
Shit. July. Don't put me on the spot like this. July 22nd, Mike.
22nd. All right. I knew it was close.
Brianne's birthday's the 20th, and the anniversary on the 22nd. Thanks for bringing that up.
And bringing up the rear, we have Evans Chilean Miners at 4-2 with 295 points versus Tom's Brixton Sky at 1-5 with 269. I believe Tom's win came against me in week 1. Tom does lead the all-time points, so 1194 to 1101, but the series is tied 18-18. So I think Evan must have won that one a couple weeks ago. Then I think that was 18-17 last time we talked. So there is what's on tap.
All right. Mike, before we get into record setters, let's take a look at some sponsors. Up north, Mike, we're brought to you by Chasin' Freshies. That's a fresh hop IPA from Deschutes Brewery. I found that one at the store tonight after football practice, and it's pretty smooth.
Yeah, I like the Deschutes.
I can't believe I'm drinking beer again after this weekend, but here we go.
Coming from down south, I got the Cane's Mild Dark out of Liverpool, England.
Wow.
It's a dark beer, and I bought all those cans for the pregame on Sunday. Didn't quite finish them all because, the rest of the weekend was pretty good. So I'm continuing on. It's a delicious, delicious Mild Dark.
Yeah, after we tried to pour ourselves out of the Ginger Man on Friday night, it was an uphill climb after that to get back to a point where you could even feel the effects of the aforementioned beer. So,
anybody want a Bloody Marita?
Yeah. And that's one thing. I got to mention this now that you bring it up. Tim, you'll love this. This is the part where you hit fast forward. But and I mentioned this. The people down there, Mike, in southern Texas, nice folks. Nice folks. Very, accommodating. You hear about Minnesota nice, and it's all that. At least all that. I mean, they were awesome, but the two complaints is one, once the drinks start flowing and you're wearing green and gold at a Texans game, my God, the barbs start flying from the Texas contingent. I believe, Mike, we were called, what were we called? Some sort of a cheddarhead somethings on the way in.
I'd have to look back at what Thad's called us in the past. I think it's about the same.
Yeah, it was quite the.
Cracker. They call us Cracker.
Yeah.
A white guy called us Cracker.
Yeah, a white guy called us Cracker. So that was fun. And the other thing. Them bastards down south don't know how to make a Bloody Mary, Mike. I order a Bloody Mary. First of all, I get a bloody, what was it, Marita, which is apparently tequila instead of vodka. So I sent that back.
That does not sound good.
No, it was horrible. And then they bring it back, but Mike, there's no accoutrement. There's one celery stalk. I asked for a snit, Mike, and our waitress looked at me like I had lost my mind. No idea what the word even meant. And there was no olives, no limes. There was no,
no celery salt, no
cheese, no sausage, no nothing in that thing. I mean, I guess the upside is that there's probably more vodka in there because there's plenty of room. But other than that, so yeah, if you ever find yourself in southern Texas at a Texans game,
build your own.
Yeah, expect to be heckled and definitely find a build-your-own bar. So, Mike, let's take a quick look at record setters. We had a few set. The SFFL went off in terms of wide receiver points, Mike. 174 total wide receiver points in Week 6, so that was good for number 1 all time. So each owner averaging 17.4 points. We had the most single running back points all time. Number 5 overall was Wayne with the aforementioned Sean Green. And then Evan had the most 5th most wide receiver points from a single wide receiver. Jordy Nelson chipping in with 24. So those were the 3 records set this past week. Mike, premium password. Week 7, current week, is Coors, one of our 2 required contractual Coors passwords week. And for week 8, Mike, we're going to go with the password of empty, which is what Reliance Stadium was after the 3rd quarter, pretty much. The Packers cleared it out. We had the stadium to ourselves, so that was nice. So week 7, Coors, week 8, empty. So that'll be starting next Tuesday.
I thought that's what I was running on Sunday.
ROE. I was running on that from about Saturday morning on. All right, let's get to everyone's tertiary favorite subject on this podcast, the Chalk Talk, which gets back above the Mendoza line. Wes Welker just got killed. With a win last week, had the Houston Cougars minus 13.5, and they took out UAB 39-10 for the outright win there to move the commission to 3-2. And Mike, this week we're going to go to the SEC, and we are going to take Mississippi State. We're going to lay a big number, Mike. We're going to lay 20. They're at home. They host Middle Tennessee State. The Blue Racers, I believe, and they are without the services of running back phenom Benny Cunningham, who is out for the year, and outside of that gentleman, they have pretty much no offense. Mississippi State at home, I think, will easily win. I'll give them a 4-touchdown victory to cover the 20 points and move the commission to 4-2. Mike, dog of the week continues its incredible roll through the year here. Mike, last week you had some shenanigans going on, I think, in the Philadelphia game. I believe you had the Lions plus 3.5, as I recall, and they snuck back in that one to win it outright. No points needed again. I believe that's 4 out of your 5 victories. No points needed. So yeah, you are 5-0 on the year. So all eyes are on you to see if you can keep the streak going here in week 7.
Yeah, the streak gets harder and harder every week, doesn't it?
That's what they tell me.
I'm going to go up north into the great state of New York and a little town we like to call Buffalo.
Oh, Buffalo.
Buffalo is giving 3 to Tennessee, and I'm thinking I like the way Tennessee has got the new injection at quarterback with Hasselbeck, right?
Correct.
So I am going to take your Tennessee Titans to upset the Buffalo Bills. I mean, basically -3 is just like it's a pick 'em because that's for the home team. So let's go with Tennessee this week, and let's look for another win in the Dog of the Week.
All right, AFC big battle up in upstate New York. All right, Mike, game of the week. The commission's on the board. Denver, after laying an egg literally in the first half against San Diego, bounces back to win 35-24 to move us both to 1-4 on the year, Mike. So
all I can say is, wow, what the hell happened there?
I have no idea. I didn't. I was kind of football out on Monday night. Watched some shows instead, but I saw the recap and the highlights. Yeah, it certainly went south. So. So we're both 1-4 on the year, Mike. Not great, but we can take one step closer this week, Mike. But we got a tough game at hand. Pittsburgh at Cincinnati. I believe that is the Sunday night game. What do you like in that one?
Ooh, we have a resurgent Andy Dalton. But guess what? It's not going to matter because Pittsburgh's defense and offense will be too much and overpower the home team. I'm going with Pittsburgh in this one.
All right, Mike. Well, I'd love to give you the lead corso here, but I can't do it. I'm going to have to agree. Pittsburgh, speaking of laying eggs, last week on the road at Tennessee, they couldn't get it done against the same Titans squad that got completely manhandled by the Vikings the week before. 3-point loss there, but Pittsburgh, I think you go back and look over the last couple of years, has performed pretty well in this series on the road. And I'm with you. I think the defense getting Harrison back. I don't know what the status on Palo is, but I think getting Mendenhall back certainly helps them, and I think they'll have a little bit too much for Cincinnati if they can shut down Mr. A.J. Green, which I think they'll be able to contain him. I think they will. I think this is going to be close, but I think Pittsburgh wins by maybe 4 points. So hopefully both of us can get to 2-4 and get to a point where we can show our faces again in Game of the Week crowds, which are all over the place, Mike. All right, Mike. Well, that should just about do it for this week's episode, Week 7 of TWITS. If you'd like to see this or any past episode of TWITS, visit twits.vh1classic.com or go to YouTube and type in the keyword TWITS. And so for my co-host and producer, Mr. Mike Paddock, we'll see you next time for the Week 8 edition of TWITS. Adios.